Okay, this is our second last day of the Miners Way.
Yes.
Day 7, I think. As always, it's incredibly beautiful. And the trail has been brilliant to walk.
It's really... So this trail has twisted so much that we're standing up here and we can see the hills and mountains where the cairns were.
Yeah.
They had the amazing like U-shaped valley, like just over there.
That way. There's a lake here. That's Lockheed. And so Boyle is like the other side of that lake. And we walked like that way, and around, and around, and around, and like that's great. Up this thing, down through, over here, and like all the way around here. So it's a very bendy trail, but incredibly beautiful and really high quality and consistent. I think we've had a total of like 12 cars pass us this entire trail.
Yeah.
Even though some of it has been on roads, the roads have all been incredibly quiet and easy to walk on.
I'm really curious to add up the distance that we think we've walked each day and compare it to the distance that the trail is labelled as. Because I feel like it's longer than it says it is.
It definitely is. We've definitely already walked longer, like a good bit, I'd say, longer than the 120 kilometres the trail is meant to be. But then again, I don't think anyone expects people to walk every metre of this trail.
Just because of the shape of it.
Yeah, because it's such a weird shape. It's like a figure of 8 with 2 arms. And I think that's actually been the only downside so far to this trail, has been that it's been quite awkward to walk every metre of. And that's not the trail's fault, it's ours for being so weird. So... and
for not like planning what we'd do on what days and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you to my parents and my sister for letting us stay in their respective houses.
Yes. Big thank you. Huge thank you.
Incredible.
Thank you to Kai and
generosity.
Rian for letting me build Lego with them, and for all the great tales and
yes,
books we read.
Yeah, and for coming with us for 5 kilometers, which was fun. So now, this feels like it's the last video of the trail, even though there's still another day left.
So we should probably stop talking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye bye. Yeah, that's great. Got to be that set. It's got to be that set that we're going to today. That's where it splits. Has to be. Because the lake is there and the mountain's on the opposite side.
Yeah. fair play to whoever brought a sign the whole way up the side of a cliff and put it in the middle of a bog. Like, so much effort I think went into putting this one sign here. Yeah. There's a lot of hill today. To everyone who says, "Oh, you must be like the fittest people we know." Thank you. Such a nice compliment, but definitely not.
Yeah.
I have no breath.
Maybe at the end.
Maybe. But right now, no. So for this whole trail, we've been going along and it's had the most amazing infrastructure. And we keep wondering, like, oh, it looked like somebody was here like 2 days ago and did this. Like, it's so perfect, and like the grass was cut in sections, so you just had to follow the cut grass and stuff. Super nice. Today, we finally caught up with the person cutting the grass. Of course, I couldn't be that enthusiastic when I just like had to wave and say hi, as you do. But inside, I was jumping for joy, being like, yes, you do exist, and thank you very much for cutting the grass and putting down planks of wood over streams and stuff.
At a wind farm, and so we wanted to see how fast the propellers are going. And so the way to work this out is, you see the height roughly of the wind farm. So we worked it out to be about 40 meters tall, and then a propeller is about half that height. So the radius of the circle that it's going around is 20 meters, and so the circumference of the circle is 2 pi r, so it's 2 times pi times the radius, which is 20, so it's 40 times pi, which is about 120, so the circumference is about 120 meters. And then from there we can tell that it is going, so if we start counting from when the blade is at the bottom to the next time it's at the bottom, so that's 1, 2, 3, so it's going about 120 meters every 3 seconds, which works out to 40 meters every second, which works out roughly to 144 kilometers an hour, which is really fast. I'm sure there's a conversion you can make to get that into volts generated, like our joules, but that's beyond me. So there you go. That's some maths, and I bet you I was wrong.
Guess where we are. Where we stopped yesterday.
Yay!
Yay!
This is the split again at the top of Lynch's Mountain. It's been a long day of walking. It's been pretty harsh actually. A lot of ups and then some down and then a lot more up. So, but it was good. It was really good. It brought us through this wind farm behind us, which was actually really nice, and only a little bit terrifying. So now we're going to continue on to Drumkeerin, or at least stop somewhere around Drumkeerin. I have a very emo haircut. Rawr. We're going to see if we can get to Drumkeerin and or stop outside of Drumkeerin. Because we would like a shop and a coffee. And it is what time? 5 o'clock?
No.
It's half past 5. So it's about time for us to start looking for somewhere. Probably our biggest nemesis on the walks are these midges. Dicks. Okay, it's the morning of our last day on the Miners' Way. We are just outside of Drumkeerin. We camped in the forests on Corey Mountain last night. which was good, except there were so many midges. If you're not Irish, midges are basically teeth with wings, and there's tons of them. So that was great. And like getting the tent put down this morning and everything was incredibly fun with like 50 midges crawling all over your face. So that was good. But otherwise, I mean, it was a perfectly great campsite. So if you camp in the spring or the winter, you'll be fine. So now it's just a big downhill to Drumkeerin, where there will be our breakfast, which is going to be extremely good because we didn't want to cook last night because there were too many midges. And then we walk on to Dara. The walk to Dara should be pretty much a straight line from Drumkeerin to Dara, a long road more or less. So it's just kind of a connecty bit between Miners Way and the Cavan Way, and also the Leitrim Way, which is currently closed. So yeah, last day, looking forward to some coffee. How are you? Oh, he's a very pretty one actually. Yesterday when you were talking to us, we were actually coming into a wind farm, which is why it's so windy. Yeah, I think we worked out that.
So we're at kind of our final stretch for the Miners Way, and this is one of its intersection points with Leitrim Way, and we were thinking of doing it but found out that's closed. And what's kind of even more interesting is that the signs that used to exist for it have kind of been stripped. They're the white ones, so you can clearly see the Miners Way, but the Leitrim ones seem to have been kind of cleared of all signage.
Which is funny because the Elvis
It's still there.
Yeah, is actually quite new as well.
Yeah.
This is our sign. So the Miners Way is the one pointing right and left, and the Leitrim Way is the one pointing forwards.
Just the sign bit has been,
Yeah.
text sign has been altered.
Yep. So we might come back in the later half of the year.
Yeah.
And see what it's like.
Yeah.
But we're going to leave it for now.
Pretty much. There's a thumbprint on the lens. Oh.
One of the taglines that I originally thought of for this project was Ireland, it's outside. And it's because of videos like the drone footage video that we just put up. Like, this country is so pretty. It's so pretty, and like you're completely missing out. So the thing is, I always used to badmouth Ireland. I always used to say to people who weren't from here, look at this. To people who weren't from here, oh, it's nice when it's not raining, or oh, it's okay, or whatever. But like, the country is unimaginably beautiful, and you're not doing anyone a favour by kind of bad-mouthing it or whatever, especially if you haven't been there. I used to sit in an office for hours and hours and hours, and then I went home and looked at TV or played games, and it wasn't the country that I was seeing, and I was bad-mouthing my own experience rather than of the actual country. And so I really feel as though you almost have a responsibility to go outside and to enjoy the outdoors, the like this incredible country that we're in, instead of, you know, basically giving out to American tourists for thinking that it's super pretty or whatever, because they're not wrong. And I don't know, it's yeah, hopefully if you watch these videos and you live maybe near one of the trails, or especially if you don't, I suppose, and you travel to get to one and walk it for a day or two, and you can see just how incredibly pretty Ireland is. Like, it's just unbelievable. I don't know. Basically, the next time you think about downplaying Ireland, or even like maybe next time you go on holiday, don't go to Spain, don't go to the Alps, just go to Roscommon or to Monaghan or to Tipperary, Mayo, anywhere, and walk there instead and see what you think about the country that you live in, because it's class.